Hi, this is Ruth Schmuff from Bedecked and Bedazzled. On this channel, I will show you tips and techniques to make your stitching more creative and fun. Today, I'm going to show you how to completely bead a candy on this canvas. There's a few rules to beading on needlepoint. First of all, the size of your beads. Size 14-15 beads will perfectly fit on 18 count canvas. Size 11 beads will perfectly fit on size 13 canvas. Now, this is assuming that you're putting one bead over every canvas intersection, which is what I'm going to show you today and show you how I can do it super fast. So, I start with a beading needle threaded with a single strand of beading thread doubled in my needle to make two. So you can see there's two threads going through the needle. There's a knot at the end. That knot is going to be placed on the front of my canvas, just like any other waist knot would. You're going to stitch in continental method. So you're going to bring your needle up, pick up a bead, and go down on the diagonal from lower left to upper right, just like you're making a standard tent stitch. Now, here's the things that I do that maybe are a little different, maybe will help you. One is I keep my beads as close as possible to the area that I'm stitching. So my needlepoint is on a floor stand. It's on a frame on a floor stand. That floor stand is set so that it is almost perfectly flat, like a tabletop. That enables me to sit a tray of beads on my canvas and have them not go anywhere. So here's my tray of beads. They're sitting just a couple inches away. That way, with each stitch, all I have to do is reach my needle over a couple of inches to grab the next bead. What I see a lot of people try to do is pick up the bead with their hands and put it on the needle. The needle will find the hole in the bead. Just reach over and grab a bead. So I'm going along here, regular continental method. So I'm working from right to left, one stitch at a time. With each stitch, I come up on the lower left and go down on the upper right. Now, the other thing that I do is I keep tension on my thread at all times. So, as I sink my needle, my left hand is underneath. I grab that thread. You'll see me touch my beads. I make sure that they're all sitting exactly where I want them on top. I never let go of them. I bring my needle up. Now the tension is on the top thread. Pick up the next bead. As soon as it goes through, I grab it with my left hand. So there's never more than a second where the thread is without tension. By doing that, everything sits nice and tight. You don't have to lasso every bead. You don't have to do any other crazy gymnastics. You're just going to sew your beads on one at a time. So it's just a tiny bit slower than basket weave because you have to stop and pick up a bead. But if you keep tension on them, they will hold each other in a straight line. If I'm doing a really large section, a border around something, you know, we're talking inches of beading, then I may lasso the ends of the rows and at intervals in between. But generally, I don't lasso anything. You do have to keep in mind different bead finishes have slightly different sizes. They're also made by different manufacturers. So in some cases, if your beads are not sitting the way you want them to, look at the finish. If one is opaque and one is transparent, or one is silver lined and one is metallic, they may be slightly different sizes, which will cause them to sit differently on your canvas. But basically, all I'm doing is continental stitch, but with each stitch I pick up a bead, and I always keep tension on the thread. Always a single strand, doubled in the needle to make 2. That will help fill the holes of your beads with thread, and the more the hole of the bead is filled with thread, the tighter and straighter it will sit. I do kind of pop them into place because they, in this method, are sitting on top of a canvas thread. So they're going to have a tendency to rock and roll, but once you pop them where they belong, they want to stay there. All their little friends are going to keep them held upright. So hopefully this will help you when you are beading. To end the threads off, I just weave them under on the back. When I get to this knot, I will cut it off on the front and keep going. In a future video, I will show you how to brick bead and a few other little tricks. But for now, this is what I call row beading and how I do it. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.